Hello, hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much again for joining me. It is your girl, Shamika, also known as Lady Queen. What's up? You see the title. We are going to talk about something that you've been hearing a lot about. I know you've been seeing my posts on Facebook, on Instagram, all over the place, different people posting about it. And sometimes you just need a little information, right? Sometimes you just want the information. You want to know, is this something you should be paying attention to? Look, I took some notes too to make sure I bring you the tea. I bring you the tea, sip, sip. So I want to make sure that I bring you some good stuff. So before we start, though, we have to take care of the housekeeping duties, which is tap to clap. Go ahead and tap that heart button or tap that thumbs up button. You even think about subscribing to the channel. Press the bell. That way, anytime I go live, you'll get the notification. The second thing I need you to do is show me some comments. Whenever you join me, just comment, say hey, so I can say hey back. Okay, the third thing I need you to do right here, and this is really important. Go ahead and share this broadcast to someone that wants to know about cryptocurrency. Very basic, the basic foundation, really. We're going to talk about XRP tonight. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies, but tonight we're going to talk about XRP. So go ahead and share this broadcast to anyone. Send it in their messenger. Send it via text message so we can talk about what XRP is and what you see people posting about. And is it something to pay attention to? Is it something that you should invest in? Is it something that could basically change your life? That's what we're going to talk about today. So that's what I need you to do, is go ahead and share, and then we will get started. But I want to thank you guys once again for joining me. You're going to kind of see me look back and forth. I have a big screen right here that I kind of helps me see comments or even things that might pop up. So basically, what is XRP? XRP is another cryptocurrency. I should have shared my screen and got that all set up. But anyway, on CoinGecko.com, it is actually ranked as the number 4 currency. What I realized, what XRP is used for, the banking system. Now, understand, out of all the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these beautiful beautiful cryptocurrencies, understanding that Bitcoin is the sun and Ethereum is the moon, right? These are our 2 main cryptocurrencies. These are two, like Bitcoin is the daddy. It's the daddy. But we're going to talk about XRP. What I realized is, I was like, okay, what makes XRP different from all other cryptocurrencies? Realizing that XRP is like that banking coin. Banks have been actually picking up XRP because it's very, whenever they send it, it happens very quicker than a lot of other coins. And then also the fee to transfer it is like 0.0001. So it's it's very cheap to send. So banks have actually been picking up XRP as their coin. And so another thing that we realized, like just a couple of banks, is Access Bank, Star One Credit Union, Cambridge Bank, Global Bank, I'm sorry. And then, but understand, like, they don't basically need that middleman. They can send it directly, to that person. And that's what's going so great about XRP. Now, understand, whenever I came into the community that I'm in now, I was able to buy XRP, I believe at 37 cents is where I bought it at. Then I bought some more at 47 cents. Right now, I believe XRP is, and you know what? XRP is at $1.77 right now. $1.77,830. That's what XRP is at right now. One of the highs was $1.83. But what I was watching today, which could help change your life seriously. They were talking about a couple of things of what XRP set up for, that by the end of the year, they believe that XRP could hit about $10. Now, understand, in our minds, $10 isn't much, right? But I want you to realize that if you buy it at $1.77, you have now at least 8.5 times, maybe a little more than that, whatever you put in. So basically, if I put in let's just say $100 and it hits $10, I will at least have about $800 in there. Understand how this can grow. Or even if I put, something a little less, how much this is going to grow, and I was just calculating. I was like, man, if it hits $10 and, and I've gotten to this space, like it could actually really change our lives. Well, I kept listening, right? Because it was a couple of billionaires, they were talking. And whenever billionaires talk, you want to pay attention, right? You want to listen to somebody that's actually at a level that you're designed to get to, that has the information for you, and that's willing to give you the information. And you want to be that fly on the wall when they're kind of talking back and forth. Well, basically that's how it was. So I'm listening to them talk, and they talk about how they believe that XRP could actually hit $10,000. Now understand, if you have about 800 XRP coins, if you have about 800 of them jokers, and it hits $10,000 in the next 2 years, you will have $8 million. Now, I don't know about y'all, but $8 million could not only change my life, change my children's life, change my children's children's life, change my children's children, like all these generations. And all it takes is the fact that, let me check out exactly what they're talking about with XRP. Let me get into the spaces where they're talking about what's going on, about how I can invest, about how I can become a part of this. And see, the great thing is when you invest in like XRP, like no one has your information. That's your investment. Only you see that, and unless you decide to give it to somebody, which I would never recommend. That's one of the things that the platform talks about. Do not give anyone your keys to your wallet. Don't give them the keys to your hot wallet, because that's where we keep our cryptocurrency, right? Do not give them the keys. I don't care if it's the bank, the wallet itself saying, hey, we want to help you with this. Don't give your keys to anybody, because no one's going to ask you for your keys. That even if it was them trying to reach out to you, the company would not ask you for your keys. So never give those keys out. But what I want to talk to you about, because all it takes is about getting into the space that you need to get into to find out exactly what XRP is. And then once you get there, say, okay, this is definitely something that I want to invest in. I always look at it this way. YouTube is great, right? I'm on YouTube right now. YouTube is amazing. But YouTube is almost like taking a spoon and bringing it to the river. You'll get, some water, right? Or let's say to the ocean. You'll get some water, but being educated by master educators and being in a space where you have multi-millionaires and billionaires and being in the space with them, it's almost like taking those buckets, bringing those buckets to the river and taking it out and you carry so much away from that. So not only do I have water for myself, I have water for my neighbor, I have water. It's almost like that. And yes, so YouTube is great, but a lot of times we have to learn how to say yes to ourselves. We have to learn how to say, you know what, I'm going to say yes to me and do an investment in myself to put myself to where I'm no longer comfortable. Because believe me, I've been in the medical field for 12 years as a paramedic, working, on an ambulance, working in the hospital before that. The medical field was my field. So to come into this financial world where you see all these numbers and charts and you're like, whoa, but the great thing about it is they had people that really sat down and just begin to explain A, B, and C, just begin to explain exactly what everything was so that I could understand it. And now being able to read these things, I can change my children's life. I can change my family's life. And when I start to see everything, like the support and the resistance, like I get excited because I'm like, okay, I'm starting to learn a little something, how to use certain indicators, and it's exciting me because I'm like, man, I'm really starting to get this now. And I only started a few months ago. A few months ago, I started on, let's say with my portfolio, right? I have 4 or 5 times my portfolio. Like when I tell you, like it's ridiculous, it's crazy, and it's all legit. But the thing is, you have to be willing to say yes to yourself. As you can see, I have a little one that's still up, but being able to, okay, you understand I'm on live. Remember? Thank you. But being understanding that, you know what? I could really change my family's life. And all I have to do is make myself a little uncomfortable to learn something different, learn something new, learn something that I've never known before. Because I want you to think about that. When your great grandmother, used to go to the store, and if someone would have told her, hey, you're going to have a debit card one day and you'll be able to swipe this card and they'll give you the groceries because you have money in the bank, she would have been like, man, that's crazy. Why would I want this plastic card? It would have been crazy. It's the same way people are looking at cryptocurrency now because they don't understand it. But when I tell you, just put yourself in the space, because I want everyone to win that can possibly win. Even if it isn't with me. Look, I just want all of us to win. I want all of us to get to a place where we no longer depend on a government. We no longer depend on, asking mama or daddy for money. We no longer depend on, how am I going to pay my bills? Because listen, I understand what it's like for that single mother, for that single parent that, has struggled. I understand what it's like to be in the grocery store with that debit card I was talking about. And you're trying to decide which groceries are more important to purchase. And when you have to put the favorite cereal back and your child ask you, why couldn't we get that? I know what it's like. And you start getting money and you're trying to hold on to it so tight because you're like, man, I need to be wise with this money. I need to make sure that, I don't spend it frivolously, and you're holding on to it because you want to make sure that you take care of your kids. And I want you to understand this, and that's very, very, admirable. That's definitely something that we want to do because these are our children. But I need you to understand this. I need you to understand this. There's a parable in the Bible where a man comes and gives money talents is what they call it, to one man, and he gives him 10. To the next man, he gives 5. To the next man, he gives 1. And the man with 10, he went out, and it says he produced another 10. The man with 5 went out and he produced another 5. But the man with 1 did nothing with it. He buried it. And he said, well, look, I was scared. I was scared. And I know a lot of us can relate to being scared. Like, this is something I've never heard of before. I've never done before. Like, I'm scared. So I can relate to that. But him being scared, saying, listen, I know you were a hard man. And sometimes things are hard for us too, right? He's like, I know you were a hard man. So look, I buried it. And he was like, the least you could have done is put it in some versions say currency or foreign trade to receive money back. That's the least you could have done. And he said it would have multiplied the money. But see, a lot of times we're like that man with 1 talent. We're like, God, this is the only income that I have. Like, God, I can't take that risk. And we're afraid. We're afraid. We're worried. What if it doesn't work for me? What if that's your story, but it's not my story? What if it doesn't work for me? Because I've never been in this place before. What if it doesn't? But the thing is, what if it does? What if it changes your life? What if it, basically blesses your life so much to not only do you have more money and it's not just about the money, y'all. Listen, because the thing is, I want to help that next. Like, I want to be in line one day. I want to be in line one day at the grocery store and have someone that says that I can see diapers and I see all this, I picture all this. I see the diapers on the belt and the drinks and the food. And they say, okay, is this dollar, they give $1 amount, but they only have this much. And to say, and they say, okay, we'll take this off. I want to be that woman that says, you know what, put it back on and, I'll got it, and pay for the whole thing, right? And then still be able to bless them financially at least 2 or 3 groceries away. Wouldn't that be amazing? Because it's not all about us. It's not about, okay, well, you live this lavish life, which is still amazing. Don't get me wrong. I ain't hating. I ain't throwing shade. Don't get me wrong. But what if we could actually change someone else's life to where we give them an opportunity to live a better life? Because there are parents out there, there are single mothers, single fathers out there that are trying to do the right thing and are still struggling day to day, worried. Let me tell you, I know what it's like. When things first started, I had just gotten divorced and things were, hard. And I was trying to really find my way, and a couple of years had went by. But I know what it's like to sit at the table I know what it's like to have like fixed food, like, and it was already hard to get that one meal for your kids, right? I know what it's like to get that one meal, and then while they're eating that meal, you're thinking, God, where's the next meal gonna come from? Like, I know what it's like, right? And so that's why it's such a passion for me, where I'm like, man, I gotta help change. I gotta help my next sister queen. I gotta help my sister queen that's been told, that no one will ever want her, or that's been told that she'll never make it because she has 4 or 5 kids, and no one wants anybody with that many kids, and or no one wants anybody with lack of it. I want to help that woman understand not only how important she is, how worthy she is, how wonderful she is, and how she will make it no matter what anybody else says. I want to motivate that queen to become the best version that God had intended her to be since the beginning. And understand, the Bible does say the love of money, not money is the root of all evil. The love of money is root of all evil. But then also it says in the scripture that money answereth all things. So understand that what, it's good. It takes money, makes the world go round. It takes money to be able to do these things. And we have to be like those other men that said, you know what, God, you gave me this income. Let me at least put it in something that gives back a return. So if that is you and you're just scared, look, I've been there before. I've been scared. I've worried. Okay, is this for me? I see you, queen. I see you, excelling. I see, this beautiful brown woman excelling. God, could that be me? I've been there before, so I know what it's like. But let me just ease your mind right now. Yes, it takes work. Yes, it takes, patience. Yes, it takes you just saying yes to yourself. Yes, it takes, you just wanting to step out on faith. Because a lot of us are asking God, like, let something happen where there's an abundance. But God showed you an opportunity, but because it's not in the way that you thought, you close your eyes to it. Don't be those closed-minded people. Don't be those, stiff-necked people that they talk about in the wilderness, right? Because understand, stiff-neck just means wouldn't do anything different. Got stuck on one way and just stuck to that way. Times are changing. Things are changing. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Say, and when I'm just talking about in general. I want you to hear this story for whatever woman God is telling you to take a step of faith, whether it's starting a business, whether it's that he wants you to quit your job and do other work, whatever it might be. If you're going from a different occupation, you've never done it before, but you have this yearning and desire, whatever it is that God is leading you to do, whether it's investing, whether it's in stocks, whether it's in, becoming a chef, whether it's in becoming a musician, whether it's in starting your church, whether it's whatever it might be, you just gonna have to take that leap of faith and say, and look, I said it in one of my speeches. Listen, turbulence is the price you pay for flying high. There are going to be bumps. There's going to be, some shaking where you're holding on like, God, is this it? But then in the nick of time, I know you've heard that say, he may not come with you when you want it, but he's always on time. In the nick of time, it takes off. In the nick of time, you're like, man, I didn't think I was going to make it. Because there were plenty of times where I'm like, God, how am I going to get this light bill paid? And the lights shut off. And I'm like, okay, God, how am I going to get it back on before my kids get home from school? It was that serious. And I remember one day standing at that sink and saying, God, and God, I was washing dishes, and God put in my spirit, because someone had just brought me an opportunity. And God said, in my spirit, you want something different, but you're not willing to do anything different. And I was like, oh, sorry, excuse me. That's what he told me. You want something different, but you're not willing to do anything different. A lot of times we're saying, God, help me. God, help me financially. God, help me spiritually. Help me, God, in a different thing, mentally, emotionally. Help me, God. Help me, even physically. God, I want to lose. But we're not willing to be disciplined, to teach ourselves, to get the wisdom that we, or the knowledge that we need, and give God something to work with and say, God, with this knowledge you've given me, give me the wisdom and understanding. We're not willing to step out. We're not willing to say, you know what? I don't know the first thing about cooking, but you know what? I'm gonna start with some eggs. I'm gonna start with some flour here, flour there. Look, and when you put all that together, you got a cake, sis. Or you know what? Even that woman that desires to do hair. You know what? Let me try on my daughter baby dolls. Let me just attempt to start somewhere. And you might look at that as something small, something little. But I'm telling you, you practice enough of whatever it is, and it begins to come second nature, where they look at you as the expert. Because let me tell you, I think it was Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, one of them, we're talking about that anything that you do, especially after 3 to 5 years, you will become an expert in. You will become an expert in, but you got to be willing to put in the work. Faith without works is dead. I see a lot of posts on Facebook where they say, if you're believing in God that you are going to have an abundance in your bank account, type the word amen. Listen, I can believe and I can type amen all day long. But if I'm not doing anything, there's no work there. And sometimes work is just educating yourself. Sometimes work is just saying, you know what? Let me talk to this person about this. Sometimes work is the little things that we don't even see as work. And that's what God wants you to do in order to get to the next place that you need to get connected to the right people. To get connected. Because understand, I can believe all day long that a seed I plant in the ground will grow. But unless I'm watering that seed, unless I make sure it has the proper sunlight, I don't care how deep I dug. It's not going to grow. Because you know why? Or even, I don't even care. Let me explain something to you. I heard even one of my mentors say this. It doesn't matter even if I plant the seed. If it ain't planted in the right soil, if I plant it in sand and it's meant to be in the ground, in dirt, guess what? It's not going to grow. And understand that dirt costs more than that seed. That dirt costs more than that seed that you plant, that you are believing to build a harvest to feed you for forever, right? But you got to be willing to do the work, sis. You got to be willing to do the work, bro. It's time out for just saying, God, I believe. Yes, he wants us to believe. But if you're not doing the work, and let me not only say that, if you're not doing the work, let me tell you, if you don't keep God first, it ain't gonna work out anyway. You might become successful for a little while, don't get me wrong, because he reigns on the just and the unjust. But understand, only the things of God will last. That's why I make sure that when I wake up, before I pick up this phone, and believe me, it's very tempting, y'all, because of how much money we make, it's very tempting to first thing you do is pick up this phone and look at your trades. It's very tempting to pick up that phone and look at the portfolio to see how much it grew. It's very tempting. But I said, you know what, God? I'm going to make sure the first thing I do when I wake up is acknowledge the fact that you woke me up. Because believe me, if you decided for me not to catch my breath on the for me not to have my next breath, if you decided, I couldn't catch it on a fast train. But you let me wake up this morning. You gave me another chance, another opportunity to give your name the glory. You gave me another opportunity. So we got to give what God's due. I first acknowledge him, and then I let my audio Bible play to listen to the word of God. And then after I get my kids and stuff off to school, then I look at the portfolio and the trades. Because I still got to look at them, y'all. I still got to make sure it's that. I got to make sure it's that, So that's the word on today. I didn't plan on going into all that, but I guess that's for somebody on here. God finds you that important. He loves you that much that he allowed you to come upon this live so that you hear this word right here. This word right here. You're that important. And guys, I want to make sure that we also keep, there was a young lady, Corey, I know her last name starts with a G. they actually today discovered that she was in the Mississippi River. They had been looking for her. And, she was discovered in the Mississippi River. So definitely keep that family in your prayer. God knows exactly who you're talking about. I know her first name is Corey. And she was an LSU student. She was a ballet teacher. She had a lot of things going for her. And they found her today. So, keep that family in your prayers. It's very important to pray for each other. Hello, Courtney. Thank you so much, Courtney, for joining me, Sister Queen. You're always a support, and I thank you so much, honey. Hello, John's Journey. Look, and only when you're sick and tired of something, bro, when you start to change, right? Like that's when we're sick and tired of something. That's when we say enough is enough, right? That's what happened. You get sick and tired, and when you get so mad at it, you're like, you know what? I gotta do something to change. You remind me, to be honest, John's Journey. You remind me so much of a lady, actually, a queen that I signed, that actually came with me into this company, who's killing the game, killing the game. But she came in, and that's one of the things she says: I can't stand poverty. I'm sick of poverty. So I want to make sure that my family, my people, never have to worry about it again. That the next person I talk to doesn't worry about it again, because she said she's sick of it. And that's true. And that's how we have to look at it. Like, it's no longer my portion, as she says. And that's my Apostle Dr. Milo, a beautiful queen, an amazing woman of God. I just thank God. I just thank God so much that, okay, I got two things I'm going to thank God for, because I want to tell y'all something right here, because I just saw her on here. You see this lady right here? This lady right here? See, that's that lady right there. Look, got me all tongue tied. That lady right there. That's my BFF. We go so far back, like 20 plus years, but I can't tell y'all, because then y'all gonna be trying to guess my age and stuff. But that, when I tell you, that lady is actually who brought me into the space where, y'all, I'm telling y'all, my great grandchildren gonna remember my name. Like, real talk. My great grandchildren will remember my name because of the decision that I made in October to take a step of faith. And thank God that he used this woman of God to take it first. Because I was skeptical, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. But thank God he used her to take it first. And then I want to thank God, even for Dr. Milo, even, someone who had just joined and, fresh in for 2 or 3 weeks. And she believed in what I was saying so much that she joined, and now she's benefiting from it also. And then she touched like 30 other families also. When I tell you, it's just crazy, just a waterfall, each one teach one. But I thank you guys so much for joining. I didn't even plan on being on here this long, but it's okay. It's okay, because I love you guys, and definitely want you to know the information, want to get the information out. So with that being said, remember, if you change your mind, you'll change your life. So if you change the way that you think, your life will forever change. But guess what? You are your only limitation. You are the only one that limits you. Thank you so much, whoever you are, Facebook user. Some of the platforms will not allow the name to come through, but best believe I will go back on the replays and respond, because I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. So I just want to tell you guys, thank you. Listen, if you're not busy, let's see what today is. Okay, if you're not busy on tomorrow at 2 and you want to know more about this information, reach out to me tonight or tomorrow morning. That's 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, because I would love to show you exactly what I'm talking about, so that you can change your generational wealth. Change generational wealth, not just your kids, but I'm talking about generations to come. So reach out to your girl, because I'm definitely here. I love you, God. Change your mind so you can change your life. Change your mind so you can change your life. I'm telling you, that's what it is. But love you guys, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.